Notting Hill, a 1999 romantic comedy starring Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts. William, played by Grant, owns a travel bookstore in Notting Hill, London. One day, a star Hollywood actress, Anna, played by Roberts, enters the shop and meets William by chance. Roman Holiday, a 1953 romantic comedy starring Gregory Peck and Audrey Hepburn. Joe, played by Grant, is an American reporter living in Rome. One night, he finds British Crown Princess Anne, played by Hepburn, as she is in the middle of leaving her embassy to explore Rome. Watching these films back to back, it becomes clear that Notting Hill takes some inspiration from Roman Holiday. Together, they are able to escape their undesired lives. They are able to form a bond that transcends their societal status. But the writer of Notting Hill, Richard Curtis, had never seen Roman Holiday. We had a meeting with Julia and her agent when she first agreed to do the part, Richard Curtis recalled. As they were leaving, her agent said it's such a beautiful tribute to Roman Holiday. I hadn't seen Roman Holiday. Thank God I hadn't, because I might have been self-conscious. I'm very glad I didn't know. Both movies were successful at the time of their release. Both are considered romantic comedy classics. If the similarities weren't intentional, maybe there is something to be discovered about the genre. Maybe there is something to be discovered about what makes a romantic comedy a classic. Notting Hill is not a flashy movie by any means. There's a simple charm to it. There aren't flashy sets or post-production flares. The Guardian writer Ralph Jones describes it best. What is so wonderful about the film is how effortless it all seems. The story isn't complex. There are no gunfights or CGI raccoons. The greatest jeopardy in the film involves Grant having to catch Roberts before she goes back to America. A problem that reads as plausibly insurmountable in 1999, but today would be remedied with a few WhatsApps. But despite the illusion of effortlessness, getting everything right in this way is deceptively tricky. Has a single rom-com ever managed to marry all of the necessary elements, cast, script, timing, and intangible magic so perfectly? No. The answer is no. Well, yes. Maybe the answer is yes. The main attachment to the film is caused by the unmistakable chemistry between Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. Their first interaction creates butterflies in the audience.
I'm sorry, can you just give me a second? We've got a security camera in this bit of the show. So I saw you put that book down your trousers. I tell you what, I'll call the police and, what can I say? If I'm wrong about the whole book down the trousers scenario, I really apologize.
What if I did have a book down my trousers?
Well, ideally, when I went back to the desk, you'd remove the Cadogan Guide to Bali from your trousers and either wipe it and put it back or buy it. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I was gonna steal one, but now I've changed my mind.
William is a little dorky, but endearing. It's immediate he's nervous because he's smitten by Anna, but he fumbles through the conversation anyways. Anna smiles and steals glances with William. William is even made to look more confident by not asking for an autograph. Notting Hill is the setting and the namesake of the film. The real location even gets tourist visits every year due to the movie. The draw of the location is real, but the chemistry between the leads keeps viewers watching. Roman Holiday, likewise, uses the backdrop of Rome for most of the fantastical heavy lifting, drawing an audience in, but the characters are what keeps them watching. Joe excitingly takes Anne around Rome. He isn't adored by really anyone, but it doesn't stop him from introducing Anne to every person they meet. He doesn't have any money, but he wants her to have a good time anyway.
Now you shake.
Okay, now let me get 30,000.
30. That's $50. You're gonna buy the crown jewels?
She's out there now drinking champagne that I can't pay for. We gotta entertain her, don't we?
Joe, we can't go running around town with a hot princess.
Do you want in on this deal or don't you?
The pursuit of Anne's happiness is endearing to watch. Both films have the men tripping over themselves to impress their respective love interests. However, it is never done in a douchey way or to call attention to themselves. Their pursuit is understated to not call attention to the fact that they come from separate worlds. The chemistry lies within each couple's pursuit of each other while not calling attention to the status. Romance for the sake of romance rather than personal gain. While taking a closer look at the characters, there of course are similarities between the female and male leads, but what makes them so likable that they were unintentionally made similar? Notting Hill's Anna is a famous Hollywood actor from America, attractive, adored, and skilled. William, though a humble bookshop owner, owns a bookshop.
This one, on the other hand, is very good. I think the man who wrote it has actually been to Turkey, which helps. There's also a very amusing incident with a kebab, which is one of many amusing incidents.
Book lovers are known for their patient, thoughtful, and reserved nature. In Roman Holiday, Princess Anne is, well, a princess, born and raised to be adored by a whole country. Princesses start trends, wear extravagant gowns, and receive the most expensive services. Joe, once again, is a simple man, but he's a writer, creative and sly. He's a witty reporter that is living abroad in one of the most famous cities in the world. He's a quick thinker and dupes many people, but never dangerously or with cruel intentions. Each of these 4 characters provide lots of room for audience to reflect on their own lives. Each one serves as an aspiration or a stand-in. YouTuber Rory Deschanel describes a little bit of what works for characters within rom-coms in her video, Anatomy of a Rom-Com. She picks apart what turns audiences against 2024's Anyone But You. Deschanel explains that rom-coms are comforting when the characters fit a certain mold.
They're both conventionally uber attractive, and unlike a lot of other rom-com protagonists who work in somewhat creative fields, they work in law and finance, respectively. So it ends up feeling like watching Chad and Stacy from high school inevitably fall in love because they're both the hottest people in the room, rather than 2 people winning each other over with their charm.
Although opposites, Hill and Holiday present both characters as 2 archetypes that are conventionally aspirational or common to all walks of life. Point is, they're interesting. In the real world, each character's job description would introduce a laundry list of questions on a first date. Where have they been? Or who have they met? Grant's William may not have great answers, but the questions are still asked within the film. That's the important aspect of their life paths. They spark an interest within each other's character to explore more about the beautiful man or woman standing right in front of them. The ending of each film is amazingly similar, but results in 2 different outcomes. The female protagonist is at a press conference all about her. Then, the male lead comes in and talks to her, while still not giving away that they're romantically involved.
Joe Bradley, American News Service.
So happy, Mr. Bradley.
In Notting Hill, William and Anne say fuck it, admit to everything that they have been dating, and launch their relationship. A happily ever after, if you will. In Roman Holiday, the results of the press conference is a little more understated. Joe asks about the princess's time in Rome, to which she gives a stellar review.
I will cherish my visit here in memory as long as I live.
Joe then knows he was able to do that for her, but they never reveal to others that they knew each other. Both leave the conference accepting their societal roles and remember their time for what it was, not what they wanted it to become. A common lesson about love that some learn the hard way. Mark Twain cemented this story into classic literature. Americans love to see an everyman make his way to the top. On the flip side, a larger-than-life celebrity is likable and humanized when they genuinely love the everyman. Hill and Holiday add a little international appeal to the table as well. So what makes a successful romantic comedy? Relatability. Although both movies share aspects of plot and characters, what drives the comforting nature of Hill and Holiday is relatability. Audiences want to see themselves in a romantic comedy. They want to experience falling in love with a celebrity or be a wittingly charming lover. Audiences being able to put themselves within a rom-com is what makes one a classic. Even though the endings are vastly different, it still tells us something about why people love romantic comedies. They provide a window into what it is like to fall in love. Notting Hill may have a fairy tale ending, but Roman Holiday uses it to explore another relatable feeling. The feeling of having an explosive yet short-lived relationship with someone you may never see again. The ending is often said to make or break a film. But oddly enough, the differing endings allowed both to become beloved classics. As the saying goes, opposites attract.